behold the fear and power. It's his wisdom that's kept him in office to this day. This is Paul Biya, the President of Cameroon. At 92 years old, he's not only the oldest head of state in the world, he's just announced he'll be running for re-election this October. In this video, we're diving into the life and legacy of Paul Biya. Stick with me. My name is Emmanuel, and this is the story. Paul Barthélemy Biya B. Mavondo was born on February 13, 1933, in Momaka, in southern Cameroon. He started school in his hometown, attending the Catholic mission school, where he stood out with remarkable intelligence and discipline. He had a strong passion for law, politics, and public service. Biya was a quiet child, respectful and soft-spoken, but his presence was always felt. He followed his local traditions and earned a reputation for being wise beyond his years. He moved to the capital, Yaoundé, to continue secondary school at a Catholic institution. There he excelled, especially in law, French, philosophy, and history. Teachers admired him for his calm demeanor and his love of learning. His ambition was clear. He believed Africans should take charge of their own nations. His performance earned him a scholarship to study in France, a path taken by many gifted African students at the time. In France, he studied political philosophy, constitutional law, international politics, and public administration. That's where he learned how governments function and how to lead one. After finishing university, Biya returned to Cameroon in 1957, just as the country was gaining independence. He joined the presidency as the private secretary to President Amadou Ahidjo. In 1968, he was promoted to Secretary General of the presidency. By 1975, he became prime minister, earning national attention as a calm, strategic, and loyal leader. Then came the turning point. On November 6, 1982, President Ahidjo stepped down, and Paul Biya officially became president of Cameroon. His rise was constitutional, peaceful, and full of promise. Many believed Biya would bring in a new era, one rooted in transparency, justice, and democratic reform. But tensions with Ahidjo soon surfaced. Ahidjo wanted to keep influence over Biya's government. Between 1983 and 1984, the conflict escalated, culminating in a failed coup attempt by Ahidjo loyalists. Biya survived and used the moment to consolidate his power. He purged the government of Ahidjo supporters and took full control. From then on, the dream of democracy began to fade. Biya created a regime that revolved entirely around himself. No opposition, no debate, no dissent. This became known as the Biya system, a structure built on loyalty, silence, and fear. He gave key government and military roles to allies from his home region in the south. He empowered intelligence agencies to monitor and suppress critics. In 2008, he removed presidential term limits, allowing himself to run indefinitely. He's since won elections in 1992, 1997, 2004, 2011, and 2018, often with over 90% of the vote. But each of these elections has been called into question, with accusations of fraud, voter intimidation, and ballot manipulation. Cameroon is a resource-rich nation with oil, gas, minerals, forests, and fertile land. Under Biya, the country has seen roads built, cities grow, and new power projects. But despite this progress on paper, Cameroonians still face widespread poverty and economic struggle. Corruption is rampant, the national debt is high, youth unemployment is crushing, and access to basic services like electricity, clean water, and healthcare remains limited, especially in rural areas. Over 60% of the population lives below the poverty line. The people feel there are two Cameroons, one for the elite and one for everyone else. International organizations have spoken out. The United Nations, the European Union, the United States, and global human rights groups all have condemned Biya's regime for violence, censorship, and repression, especially in the English-speaking regions of the country, where journalists, protesters, and political rivals have been arrested, tortured, or disappeared. Even the Catholic Church has voiced concern. Bishops across the country have warned, when one man rules for too long, the people become his prisoners. Cardinal Christian Toomey, one of the boldest critics, once said, No leader should be president for life. And yet, here we are again. On July 13, 2025, Paul Biya announced on X, formerly Twitter, that he will run for another term as president. He wrote, "I am a candidate in the upcoming presidential election. Trust that my commitment to lead you remains strong, even as we face immense challenges." The announcement has sparked major debate about his age, his health, and whether he can still lead. Now 92 years old, rarely seen in public, and often delegating his responsibility,